Friends, welcome to Commissionerate of Collegiate Education. I am G.L.N. lecturer in Zoology, Government College, Autonomous, Anantapur. Today we are going to learn about general characters of Mammalia. The learning objectives of today's topic is we are going to learn about the general characters, including specific characters, followed by classification. And during this classification, I am going to give you certain examples which represent the class Mammalia. Let us go into the lesson now. So here you can see mammals were evolved from theropsid group of reptiles. These are the most intelligent animals because you know that even human beings, chimpanzees, orangutans, gorillas are included under this particular class Mammalia. Cenozoic era, that is nothing but the present era, is the golden age of mammals. You know very well that this present era is totally dominated by only human beings who are the members of this class Mammalia. So let me repeat, Cenozoic era is the golden age of mammals. Blue whale, which is aquatic in nature, this is also called Balanoptera musculus. It is the biggest mammal. Blue whale, its scientific name is Balanoptera musculus. The name is given because it has got belly teeth and it is very musculous in nature. Followed by this elephant, this is the biggest terrestrial mammal. Bumblebee bat is the smallest mammal. So, blue whale is the biggest mammal which is aquatic in nature, and coming to the terrestrial mammals, elephant is the biggest terrestrial mammal and bumblebee bat is the smallest mammal. And coming to the classification and general characters, right from the biggest mammal to the smallest mammal, there will be certain general characters which we are going to list out. Presence of hair is the most important characteristic feature of all mammals. This is the primary character. You don't find any mammal without hair. You may be getting some doubt. Blue whale, if you take the biggest mammal, it doesn't have hair. But it will have hair in the embryonic conditions. That means during developmental conditions, at any point of time, at any point of life cycle, this should contain hair. So presence of hair during any point of life cycle is the most important characteristic feature of mammals. Sometimes there may be embryonic hair, which are also called lanugo hair. And you might have seen many mammals who are totally covered by hair. And this hair is the thermo insulator. That means it acts as an insulator. It prevents the heat loss from the body. And aquatic mammals, as I already told, they lack hair. And presence of mammary glands is the second most important quality of all mammals. All mammals contain mammary glands. In females, these mammary glands are functional and they suckle their young ones with the milk that is produced from the mammary glands. And the sweat glands and the sebaceous glands are the two important glands that are present in the body of any mammal. And the rest of the glands are the modifications of either sweat glands or sebaceous glands. And you know that these sweat glands secrete sweat, and this sweat gets deposited over the body and it gets evaporated, thereby bringing down the temperature again to the normal. That means sweat glands, by producing sweat, they act as temperature regulatory mechanism by one process called evaporative cooling. The principle involved in this sweating process is evaporative cooling. Sebaceous glands produce sebum. Sebum contains cholesterol. In presence of ultraviolet rays, this cholesterol is converted into vitamin D, and you can say that this sebum, that is the product of sebaceous glands, is the source of vitamin D in case of all mammals. And the lacrimal glands, they are present in eyes. They are tear producing glands. And ceruminous glands, they are present in the ear. They produce ear wax. This prevents the entry of foreign material or including insects into your auditory matters. And body of any mammal is divided into head, thorax, which are connected by the neck region, abdomen, and tail. So there are 4 segments, namely head, neck, thorax, abdomen. Tail may be absent in certain mammals. For example, if you take human beings, we don't have tail. And coming to the limbs, all limbs are provided with pentadactyl design. Pentadactyl design means 5-finger nature. And coming to the vertebra that are present in cervical region, there may be variation in the number of vertebra in case of thorax, abdomen, like that. But coming to the cervical vertebra, all the mammals should have, as a thumb rule, as a mammals should have 7 cervical vertebrae. There may be certain exemptions which are very, very meager, of course. For example, you take giraffe, which is having a longer neck. If you compare the neck of giraffe with the neck of human being, both human beings and giraffe will have 7 cervical vertebrae only. It may look longer, but here the length of the cervical vertebra may be more when compared to the human being, but the number doesn't vary. So here the number of cervical vertebra in case of majority of the mammals as a thumb rule is 7. And coming to the dentition. Dentition exhibits thecodont design, heterodont and diphyodont. Let me explain what is thecodont. If the teeth are embedded in the sockets of the jaws very strongly, then that dentition is called thecodont dentition. All the mammals invariably exhibit this thecodont dentition. Coming to the heterodont dentition, mammals' oral cavity contains 4 types of teeth, as I explained here: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Incisors are useful for biting, canines are useful for tearing the meat, premolars and molars are useful for chewing the material. Like that, each teeth has got its own function, it has got its own design. Because they vary in their shape and function, this dentition is called heterodont dentition. And especially if you take canines, in case of carnivorous mammals, these canines are greatly developed so that they can tear the meat in an effective manner. So here you can see the design of the teeth in the mammals. And coming to the diphyodont dentition, all mammals will have 2 sets of teeth in their lifetime. First set, which appear during infancy, is called milk dentition or deciduous dentition. That is followed by the permanent dentition. So like that, 2 sets of teeth arise in the life cycle or lifespan of any mammal, hence that is called diphyodont. So here, let me explain, let me sum up, let me make a review of that: thecodont dentition, heterodont dentition, and diphyodont dentition. And coming to the types of teeth, incisors, canines, premolars, and molars are the types of teeth that are present in the mammals. And one more thing here, if you take the oral cavity in case of mammals will have palate. Palate is nothing but the roof of the oral cavity. This separates upper nasal chamber from the lower oral chamber. That means there is separation of respiratory passage and food passage. That is the most important quality of all mammals, of course. And you see the oral cavity, I already told that oral cavity contains teeth and followed by teeth, there are salivary glands. If you take frog doesn't have salivary glands because it will not chew the material. Whereas coming to the mammals, they chew, they masticate the material. As a result, it requires some sort of liquid material to get mixed up. So there are 4 pairs of salivary glands in all mammals except in human being. In case of human being, there are only 3 pairs of salivary glands. Let me explain. Parotid glands will be there. Normally they are present below the pinna, ears of course. And the sublingual will be there. Sublingual means lingua means tongue, below the tongue. Submaxillary at the corners of the jaws. And in other mammals, there will be another set of glands called infraorbitals. So let me repeat: parotid glands, submaxillary, sublingual, and infraorbitals are the 4 pairs of salivary glands that are present in all mammals except human beings. In case of human beings, infraorbital salivary glands are totally absent. Okay, now one more aspect, one more dimension of this mammals is thoracic cavity. Thoracic cavity is nothing but the chest cavity, and the abdominal cavity, that is nothing but the stomach cavity. These 2 cavities, thoracic cavity and abdominal cavities, are separated by one structure called diaphragm, which is dome shaped. You can see that diaphragm here, that is dome shaped, and this becomes flattened during the breathing movements. So this diaphragm is present only in case of mammals. No other group, no other class, no other order of these vertebrates will have this diaphragm. So diaphragm is the structure that separates upper thoracic cavity from the lower abdominal cavity, and this is responsible for breathing movements or respiratory movements. And one more thing, this is very important, very crucial. You don't find it in any other group of animals. Pinnae. Pinnae are nothing but external ears. You might have seen the pinnae of dogs. They can rotate their pinnae towards the source of sound. Although we may not be in a position to rotate our pinnae, but whatever may be, pinnae are nothing but external ears. These are also one of the important characteristic features of all mammals. And coming to the structure of the ear, in middle ear there are three bones. One is malleus, another one is incus, another one is stapes. Stapes is the smallest bone in the entire human body. My dear students, here the sequential question may be asked sometimes in busy set examination. Malleus, incus, stapes is the order, is the sequence, right sequence of bones that is present in the middle ear. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Once again I am repeating, don't miss it. M for malleus, I for incus, S for stapes. Okay. And I already told that there are certain glands in the ear, namely ceruminous glands, which secrete ear wax. And here you can see what spring-like structure is there. That is called cochlea. Sometimes some people may pronounce it as cochlea. So this cochlea is nothing but an important structure in the entire auditory setup, of course. And respiration. Coming to the respiration, whether it is an aquatic mammal or terrestrial mammal, they have lungs as respiratory organs. So pulmonary respiration is seen in case of all mammals. And digestive system, I have covered the digestive system like teeth, oral cavity, like that. Digestive system is complete, no doubt. And it is also supported, it is also assisted by digestive glands. And let me repeat the respiratory process. Respiration is achieved or is accomplished by two lungs. This respiration is called pulmonary respiration. Even aquatic mammals, they exhibit only pulmonary respiration. They come to the surface of the water, gulping air and go down deep into the sea. And coming to the nervous system, brain will be there, and you know that the brain of mammals is made up of neoperium, which is highly sophisticated and very logical in its setup. And the brain is covered by pia durameter and arachnoid membranes. And these are nothing but meninges. So there are three meninges will be there, and the brain will be lubricated by one fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. And this is the structure of the brain. You see there will be many foldings which are called ganglions also. And let me give an example, let me give one classical concept of this brain. The brain of placental mammals should have a structure called corpus callosum. And you know that brain is made up of cerebellum. Here you will be seeing the cerebellum, one part of the cerebellum, which is nothing but the cerebral hemisphere. There will be left cerebral hemisphere and the right cerebral hemisphere. Left cerebral hemisphere is logical, right cerebral hemisphere is emotional. Women are normally right brain people and men are normally left brain people. These two are connected by one structure called corpus callosum. So corpus callosum is a nerve band that connects the right and the left cerebral hemisphere only in case of placental mammals. We will learn about placental later. For the time being, you remember that this is corpus callosum is one of the important qualities of mammals. And one more thing, optic lobes will be there. Other animals will have only two optic lobes, whereas human beings and mammals will have four optic lobes. This condition is called corpora quadri. Quadri means four. Gemina. So corpora quadrigemina is nothing but the presence of four optic lobes, and this is the most important quality of mammals, exclusive quality of mammals. You don't find this corpora quadrigemina condition in any other group of animals other than mammals. Okay. So medulla oblongata will be there, and it is the involuntary center. Cerebellum, which is called little brain, it maintains the equilibrium of a mammal even when it is just walking on the branches of the trees. There will be 12 pairs of perennial nerves. As a student of zoology, you might be knowing that any omnivore should have 12 pairs of perennial nerves only, and mammals are not exemption for that. And I have already mentioned about this corpus callosum, which connects the two cerebral hemispheres. Okay, coming to the excretory system. This is nothing but the municipality for your body. And it contains metanephric kidneys, which are bean-shaped, and they excrete urea. That means mammals are ureotelic in nature. And the reproductive system, sexual dimorphism will be there. Male reproductive system contains testes. Testes are lodged in the scrotum. Scrotum acts like a thermos flask. It maintains the temperature needed for the spermatogenesis process. Coming to the female reproductive system, you might be seeing the ovaries there, and there you can see the fallopian tubes, and these fallopian tubes are the sites of fertilization. Menstrual cycle will be there, estrous cycles will also be there. In case of primates, there will be menstrual cycle, especially advanced primates. And coming to certain specific features of the reproductive system, you have to remember certain points here. Testes are located in the scrotum. What is the function of scrotum? Means scrotum acts as a thermos flask, and it is responsible for the maintenance of the temperature that is conducive for the process of spermatogenesis. And coming to the ovary, mammalian ovaries contain Graafian follicles. It is an exclusive property of female mammals. So Graafian follicles are found only in case of ovaries of female mammals. And the fallopian tubes are the sites of fertilization. So location of the fertilization is nothing but the fallopian tubes. And you also know that uterus, it harbors the embryo, it harbors the fetus during intrauterine development. So uterus provides some sort of platform for the development of a baby, and the period that is required for the development of the baby, it is called intrauterine period, that is also called gestation period. In case of human being, that gestation period is 9 months. Here you can see gestation period is nothing but the intrauterine period that is required for the development of the baby within the uterus. Gestation period is 9 months in case of human being. Longest gestation period is exhibited by elephants. Smallest or shortest gestation period is exhibited by opossum. And here you can also see one structure placenta. You can see the baby, it takes the shape of a thinker. It is thinking of something, maybe of rebirth or past birth. And here you can see the placenta. Placenta is a connection between the uterus of the mother and developing fetus or developing baby. And here you see the position of the baby. It is inverted in its position. So that is about the general characters and the specific characters of mammals. Now let me throw light on the classification. I will just wind up with more specific points, only specific points. Coming to the classification, mammals are divided into 3 groups, namely Prototheria, which are highly primitive mammals, followed by Metatheria, and followed by Eutheria. Prototheria are the simplest, primitive, unfinished mammals. Metatheria are pouched mammals, whereas Eutheria are the true placental mammals. Okay, now let's come to the Prototheria. I already told Prototheria are unfinished mammals. That means, although they are mammals, they don't exhibit certain mammalian characters. For example, pinnae, external ears are absent in the Prototherians. Cloaca is still present. Interclavicle, which is the feature of reptilia, it is found in case of these Prototherian mammals. So we can say that Prototheria is a connecting link between reptiles and mammals. That means they are in the process. They have not been converted totally into the mammals. So Romer called them as unfinished mammals because they exhibit still certain reptilian character. They have got cloaca, pinna absent, and one more surprising thing is there is some sort of gender justice in this Prototherians. Even males have got functional mammary glands, and even males suckle the young ones with the male. This particular condition is called gynecomastism. If it is found in case of human beings, it is called a pathological condition or hormonal disorder. But here it is a physiological condition. Gynecomastism is very common in case of Prototherians, where males also suckle the young ones with their milk. So that is about these egg-laying mammals or cloacal mammals. And now let us go to the other group, namely Metatheria, and you may be seeing one Metatherian representative here. This is called kangaroo, and you know pretty well that kangaroo has got one pouch. Inside pouch, babies are lodged, the babies are harbored, and parental care will be taken within the pouch. And you see the legs, the hind legs are very much stronger, and even tail is very much stronger. It acts like a fifth leg. And two uteri will be found. This condition is called the didelphic condition. And all the marsupials are confined only to Australia, including this kangaroo. You know very well that kangaroo cricketers are called Australian cricketers are called kangaroos, of course. So hence this Australia is called land of marsupial mammals. That is about the Metatheria. Last group of mammals is Eutheria. Eutheria are nothing but true placental mammals. All the characters which I have described during this entire session can be attributed to this Eutheria. Of course, this contain various orders. For example, if you take primates, primates is the order which includes human beings, chimpanzees, orangutans. Proboscidae, which includes elephants. Chiroptera, which includes bats. And Cetacea, that includes whales. That is about the general characters, classification of mammals. And coming to the study of mammals, it is called mammalogy. Let me list out, or let me make a review of the points which you have learned. Mammals originated from Therapsid group of reptiles. Cenozoic era is the golden age of mammals. Presence of hair and mammary glands are the most important characteristic feature of mammals. And mammals are divided into Prototheria, Metatheria and Eutheria. Prototheria are called unfinished mammals by Romer. Metatheria are nothing but pouched mammals which are confined only to Australia. Australia is called the land of marsupials. Marsupialia is another name given to Metatheria. And another group is Eutheria. Eutheria are nothing but the true placental mammals. So that is about today's session. Meet you with some other session. Thank you very much. And my sincere thanks to CCE AP Vijayawada.